you ready?
This is the D-Generation CLIX podcast. Here are your hosts, Ryan Redmond, Miles Kane, and Daniel Schwab.
Welcome to the first episode of the D-Generation CLIX podcast. I am Ryan, and joining me I have Dan.
Hello.
And Miles.
Good evening, everyone, or good morning, whatever time you're listening to this.
Tonight we're going to go over the common, uncommon, and rares for next phase, since that releases this Wednesday, March 20th. And then next podcast we'll go over the more exciting super rares, chases, and the pizza boxes and all that stuff. One thing we will be talking about semi-frequently on these podcasts is our monthly games, where we basically have 6 to 8 people play an all-day battle royale, and then on 4 or more maps combined as one. And each month has like different build restrictions and a special rule or two or something like that. The next one of those is Saturday, April 13th, and we will go over more of those details leading up into it or after that first event. But today is just going to be the next phase stuff. This weekend we have a handful of people going to the Adepticon event and playing in the 300 Modern. So next week we'll also do Adepticon results. So let's get started with the CURs for next phase. First is 001 She-Hulk. She is either 75 or 50 points. Her only real special power is invulnerability or willpower. She's got 9 clicks at 75 points, perplex on the top dial, and super strength. Just Quake and close combat expert with sidestep if you play her at 50. Really nothing special about her, so you're probably skipping her except in sealed.
Yeah, she's pretty basic, but she's the 001.
So that's about it on her. Dan?
Next is Kate Bishop. She is 40 points. She's 5 clicks deep. She has 1 trait, which is adjacent friendly characters with the marksman keyword can use enhancement. So if I pulled a lot of marksman in sealed, I would play her. But otherwise, she is a stealth and super senses piece. No attack power, no damage power on the top 2 clicks. So I would mainly only play her in sealed if I pulled a lot of marksman. But otherwise, I would not play her.
Yeah, and then next we got the 003 Clinton Barton for 50 points. He's not too bad for a common, honestly, at all. He's got Avengers Initiative and Shield TA, so he's going to be shooting through hindering. Starts with an 8, 11, 17, 3. Running shot, Psychic Blast, and Energy Shield Deflection. And then he has a trait. There's always an arrow for the job, and then you free. Choose an attack power on Clint Barton's card. This turn, Clint Barton can use the chosen power. So you can choose Psychic Blast with Precision Strike or Psychic Blast with Energy Explosion. Then he goes down to a 10 attack from click 4 to click 6, and then a 16 defense for 4 through 6, and 2 damage. He's a pretty straightforward range piece, and I mean he's not too bad for sealed.
Yeah,
or even maybe there could be some play in pulp, depending. That Avengers Initiative is not a bad team ability to have at all.
That's huge.
Nor is Shield. So yeah, and I think for 50 points he's a fringe piece. I think for pulp. I don't think he's really going to see high levels of play, but and if someone's going to play him, I could see why, because he's actually decent for what he does.
And with the new pieces, 6 range isn't terrible. 19 from range, and those team abilities, not terrible.
No.
Next is Miss Marvel. No team ability. She's a 35 points TK piece with sidestep, shape change. She has a special defense power that is barrier and toughness, and then she has the power where she can make a barrier, and then with a what is it? Range train actions is free, but only to attack with markers she generated. Is there another Miss Marvel or two or one or two in this set?
There's a super rare. I think just a super rare.
Okay.
I don't remember
Yeah.
seeing any more else in the CURs.
And she
Yeah,
basically
there's
has the
just
same power, right?
It's a little more complex than this one, but yeah.
So she's pretty basic, but 35-point TK piece isn't terrible. So that's it for her, though.
Next is the common Moon Knight. So this is a shifting focus that shares with Mr. Knight. So there is his one trait is when Moon Knight hits after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to a hit character. He's either 60 points or 25 points. So he either starts as a running shot, ESD range combat piece or range combat expert, or you get a sidestep precision strike willpower piece. And he's got Mystics TA. And then the second trait is the shifting focus. So I like him for sealed, and like casual, but that's it. He's not good otherwise. But I like him. He's Moon Knight, so.
Yeah. And this next piece, I'm a little fond of. I pulled him for sealed. Mr. Knight, who's the other shifting focus, some of the suit. He's got Herald, Mystical, Scientist, Warrior with the Mystics TA. He's 60 or 25 points, just like the other Moon Knight. And then after resolutions, when he hits, instead of like the other Moon Knight doing 1 penetrating, he gives each hit opposing character an action token. And at 60 points, he's a Charge, Quake, Perplex with a combat reflexes, an 8, 11, 17, 3. And then at 25, he's going to be a Sidestep Blades with Toughness. And then he gets Late Dial and Power for his last 2 clicks. I played him at 60 points with the Man-Thing Prime at full. And yeah, giving out those tokens is huge for placing that Man-Thing. So yeah, he did great for me in sealed. I don't see him outside of sealed or casual, unfortunately, but the sculpt is awesome.
Next is Kazi. I think he's from She-Hulk. He's related to Echo, or no? Yeah.
I think was
Hawkeye
he,
and Hawkeye.
Hawkeye
Yeah.
and Hawkeye. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that's where Echo's from, right? Or no?
Yep. Yeah, that's where
Yes.
Echo's from.
Okay. This is one of the characters I was unfamiliar with. He's a 40-point leadership with running shot, precision strike. His main thing is a trait that is when a friendly character uses the Underworld team ability, they may carry 2 characters regardless of point value. I don't think you're ever going to grab him. His keywords are Magia, Brute, and Martial Artist. So 40 points of leadership is really all he's doing. He's pretty weak.
Yeah, I played him on my sealed team, and yeah, he came in really, really clutch for that leadership. But yeah, outside of that, he's not doing much.
Just having
Yeah, he did.
leadership in sealed is what you mean?
Yeah, having leadership and sealed, and then yeah, the precision strike running shot is not too bad, especially when you have 2 targets. I know it's only a 4 range, but it's effective in 8 square reach, which is not too bad for sealed.
Yeah, and sealed to ding
So, yeah.
people for 1. That's not terrible.
No. Next is the Demon. So he'll come up again later in the set, but he's 15 points, 3 clicks long, has flight, but is also tiny. Has a trait which is at the beginning of your turn, Demon may deal 1 damage to an adjacent opposing character, and they are Flurry and Shape Change, and that's it. So they're, like I said, 3 clicks deep. So I mean, I guess like not you have to deal with them, which is nice, but that's about it.
I think it'll be fun to play
So
a bunch
I-
of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Or if you play with
them
the other
and Fire
character that-
Demons. Yeah, give me the Wheels of
Yeah.
Vengeance, Fire Demons, and them,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah. Yeah, you carry these little guys up with the Fire Demon, then that'll be annoying.
oh yeah, 100% casual, but so worth playing. Next, we have the common Yelena, 009. Marksman, Thunderbolts, Assassin, Martial Artist, and Spy. She does not have any team abilities, but she brings a target trait from Notorious to Marvel, which is at the beginning of the game. For all friendly characters with this trait, you give a target token to an opposing character. And for all characters with this trait, when a friendly character with the Assassin keyword KOs an opposing character with a target token, score 25 victory points. And she's 6'11", 18, 3 starting. 7 clicks deep. She has Charge Stealth for her first 3 clicks, Special Power, Speed Power, Precision Strike, and 18 defense with combat reflexes. She's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, I guess be okay if you have to in sealed. The Charge Stealth is okay. But yeah, she has improved movement Elevated, yes, but nothing really to write home about. I mean, it's gonna be your typical common piece figure that you're probably gonna pull and play and sealed if needed be.
Mm-hmm.
Next is the tracksuit. The
Tracksuit Mafia.
0110, yeah. This one's just called tracksuit, yeah. But he does have the expendable goon trait, just like the Notorious sets. They brought that back. So when he is KO'd by an opposing character, after resolutions, you can roll a d6. 1 through 3, you choose a friendly character and move them 1 square, even if it's not your turn. 4 through 6, generate a character with an expendable goon trait on its 15-point starting line adjacent to a friendly character. So same with the Notorious ones. He's either 50 or 15 points. His 15-point line is a sidestep with a super senses and empower. So for 15 points, that's not terrible. You're probably never going to put him on for 50 points. He gets energy explosion then. But really just kind of cool to see more goons. I really hope they keep going with those.
Yeah, I do like them a lot. This one's not bad. It's different from the originals, and that's a good thing.
Yeah,
so
which is
it's
what
cool.
you want, yeah.
And they have the Underworld TA, so you can maybe carry somebody, so it's not too bad.
And it's just like the swords where you can bring them, and you can always just bring them in if by chance what you need is an empower.
Exactly, yeah. The options are good, yeah. Next is Emil Blonsky. So he is 30 points. He has the team player team ability. He's got a trait, which is the Obama Stay, which so we'll get this out of the way. So it is free. Remove an action token from Emil Blonsky. If you do, give an action token to a friendly character with the Obama Stay keyword within 4 squares. So a lot of characters with the Obama Stay keyword have this, so that'll come up frequently. And then he has a damage power, which he has every click, which is Empower Leadership. He starts Sidestep, In-Cap, Willpower, and the damage power. And his last click is Flurry, 11, 18 Invuln, and 4 damage with that. So I like him a lot. Monster Leadership is pretty good. Wild Card is always good, so you can copy something. I like him a lot. I might use him as my leader, depending on like post-rotation. Like he's going to be on my list of figures to go through when things shift. So, but we'll see. For 30 points,
He brings a lot to the table, though, for 30 points. I mean, leadership and power, team player.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot to like for him, especially like they have to do 4 damage because if they only do 3 damage to him, they're going to really regret it if they get him on it.
I think that's the best part is you actually, for 30 points, you have to dedicate it.
I wish that it was a stop click, but like I understand why they didn't make it because it's a common. But I think that would have been really fun, even if they made him 40 points for a stop click there. I think that would have been nice.
I like the low point leadership though.
Oh yeah, that's huge, especially for Monster because Monster doesn't have a lot of. I think he's gonna be the lowest point monster since Commissioner rotated to.
I guess like it's Commissioner, Venomags, and this guy.
Yeah. And next we have Hulk, Smart Hulk. I like this sculpt. I like this guy. He's not too bad. He's 90 or 50. Avengers, Brute, Celebrity, Monster, and Scientist with Avengers Initiative and 0 range. I know a lot of people are like, why does he have 0 range? And that team ability makes no sense. But there's a reason. He has Hulk Splaining, which is a unique modifier. So when another friendly character that can use super strength or that has a brute or monster keyword hits after resolutions, you modify Hulk's attack +1 this turn. And if that character was named She-Hulk, you modify attack +2 this turn. So, I mean, he starts with an 11 attack at 90 points. He's 8-11 invincible, 18-3 with charged super strength. And at 50, he's a sidestep Quake. 17-3 with close combat expert, and he rotates between that and outwit every other click. Last 2 clicks after regen.
I'm guessing the initiative is just so he can throw an object at somebody and actually hit them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, especially if you play him at 90 points.
Well, a
lot of people don't.
Outwit also.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
but yeah, throwing those objects in stealth is I really like him. He has improved movement, blocking, destroy blocking. Yeah, I do like the fact that he has that Avengers Initiative because I would really like to see ranged terrain actions start picking up some more steam because no one really likes using that.
I think they're just forgotten about still.
Yeah, but I think that can really catch people off guard. And that's what sucks. Though the worst part is that like you need that to be in pulp, So I guess you're going to use barriers, so you're only throwing for 2 damage. But I mean, you have a four movement charge, or you can throw an object for 2, 6. I mean, I guess that I think it's worth it. He's a little tad bit expensive for my taste, but I do like what he brings, especially in the common slot.
Yeah, I think both are a little bloated, but overall he's fine.
Yeah.
Next is Maya Lopez. She has the Underworld team ability. She's 55 points. She's got a charge, and her only real cool thing is that she has a special attack power or hold dial, which is when Maya Lopez hits with a close attack, hit characters can't use attack powers until your next turn. She also has combat reflexes. So, but for 55 points, I'm not a huge fan. I liked Yelena a lot better for the same price. So she also just doesn't do much. She's no stealth, anything like that. So I'm not a fan of her.
No, she has Underworld, which is helpful. At least because you're gonna get a lot of martial artists in the set, but I don't think I'd be playing her outside of sealed, and she wouldn't be my first choice for playing in sealed.
And she can carry up then 1 or 2 people to die with her then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because if you're gonna do constructed and you're building an assassin team, you're gonna knock. I'd rather play the 5 points, extra 5 points for talent, who shuts down defense powers.
Oh yeah,
I think shutting down defense powers is a lot more important than attack powers,
there's
especially with only a 3 movement charge. Yeah,
there's other people that just go better with assassins too. So she's just terrible.
I mean, for common slot, I think that we're definitely our commons are now definitely better than they were 4 sets ago for sure.
Oh sure.
So I'm liking that trend.
Next is our first shifting focus, Baby Groot. So they all have the shifting focus trait, and then this one is 40 points. He's leap, climb, a special attack power, willpower, and empower his whole dial. I think all of these guys are tiny. So
Yeah.
And then his attack power is free. Choose one and generate a hindering terrain marker, or destroy all adjacent standard terrain markers. And he has Guardian's TA. So not bad. That's actually could be pretty useful of just getting rid of standard terrain markers. I mean, that gets rid of barrier, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's standard barriers as standard terrain markers. So the only thing they're not going to get rid of is going to be elevated terrain or special terrain. So like the special terrain that's not the 1x1s.
Yeah, exactly. But still, being able to just poof barrier away seems good. But I don't know if he'll see competitive play with that. It's just because he's 40 points, so he's expensive.
If you're playing the Groot the Groots, which once we get to the other figures, I'll explain why I think they deserve to be played in high levels of competitive. This one, not so much. If you have the space, I guess you throw him on the sideline, but he's going to be the last of the 5 Groots that you're going to reach for
yeah.
Sure.
They do take up your sideline spaces, but just they offer a lot of just situational things, which is cool.
Yeah, it's just like there's a certain teams where it's like I don't know if I have the space for this. Like, do I want this or a mystery card? So it's one of those. Yeah,
That's true. That's what I always thought shifting focus should be. Is like they offer you that versatility of you get multiple things that can give you that like Swiss Army knife, basically.
I think the baby Groots are the best shifting focus that we've had. I'm not saying playability wise, but I'm saying for what each figure brings. Each figure is so unique.
Yeah, I was going to say that we have not gotten good shifting focus in, I don't think, like years.
Yeah, and the fact, every one of them brings something completely different that the other group doesn't, that your play style and your matchups, they can benefit based off what you're playing against, which is really awesome to see.
A lot of times lately, the shifting focus is just 2 pieces, and you just have like an offense piece and a defense piece, and it's just not interesting at all.
Well, all you gotta do is look in the same set. You have 2 Moon Knights in the commons. They're the only 2 Moon Knight shifting focuses to compare them to.
Right, yeah, and it's pretty lackluster. I mean, the close combat, but it's the same thing. It's the close combat expert one, but that one's kind of neat. Or not close combat, but yeah. Should probably.
All right, so next we have the trick arrow.
Let's save that for the next one, because they will go with a lot more of the bigger super rare pieces and all that. So skip to Wong.
Yep. Okay, so Wong, this is a figure that I like. I think that the teams that people are going to try and put him on are going to be counterproductive. He's 40 points with Mystics. He has Avengers, Celebrity, and Mystical. And his trait, that is going to be the only reason why you play him, that's one of them, is other characters can't use Mystics, including friendly characters. So he's the only character that can use Mystics. It's huge on certain teams, for sure. But he's a 7-10, 17-3 with Prob, Energy Shield Deflection, TK, and Phasing with a 3 range. The 3 range, I guess, I don't know why they should just gave him 4. I mean, because he can still use it for TK and Prob. But he has TK, he's Prob, he shuts down Mystics. He's 40 points. You're most likely going to be playing him in Sealed. I think there's a spot for him in Pulp, potentially, depending on, what's the meta for Pulp. And in Constructed, I like what he does, but at the same time, the teams that you're going to be putting him on, which is most of the time is going to always be on Mystical, you're kind of hurting your team at the same time because he's not going to be the only figure you have with Mystics. But yeah, straightforward long.
He does have flight too, so he can carry. So
he does have flight.
He's got some good support powers.
But shutting down Mystics for your own team, I think, really hurts you, especially because, like, if for instance, Mystical, if you team up with a Arachnite, for instance, and you give the Soul Sword to Arachnite, Soul Sword becomes useless. You just wasted 10 points because he never uses Mystics, so it never triggers.
Yeah, it's probably not.
Yeah, but I would. Yeah, exactly. I would build him on either a Mystical team that didn't have a lot of Mystics TA, or Celebrity or Avengers, or just non-theme.
Yeah, I think Avengers could actually see play with him. I think there could be with Avengers.
I know he's gonna see play at the Mystical game, Ryan.
Yeah, that'll shut everyone's Mystics down. But that'll probably see more than one person, so it'll cut everybody off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Next is Jen Walters. She's got the player team ability. She has a traded shape change with the sideline active once per game for all characters with this effect. When a friendly character named She-Hulk of 40 points or more is KO'd, after resolutions, you may generate Jen Walters from your sideline on click 4 in that character's square. If you do, Jen Walters isn't scored when KO'd this game. So click 4 gives her sidestep with an 18 defend and prob, so she obviously makes your sideline if you have a She-Hulk. And then she also has the Obamastay mindfulness trait. That
at first when I was reading that, I'm like, why are you ever gonna bring her out on the map? And then I read that she wasn't scored, and I'm like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, and 18 defend with prob, and she doesn't score then, so it's totally fine.
Oh yeah.
Next is Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. So she is 40 points. She has the shield TA. She's got a trait and a special damage power. She's 4 clicks deep with stealth, no attack power, mastermind, and then the special damage. So her trait is when establishing theme teams, characters on your starting force with the assassin, soldier, or spy keywords gain the Thunderbolts keyword. And then her damage power is prob. When she uses it, she may count range and draw a line of fire from the square of a friendly character with the Thunderbolts keyword. So that's pretty cool. I like it, because that means she could prob anyone from anywhere, basically. Because she can draw a line of fire and count squares, so she could prob anyone with the Thunderbolts keyword anywhere on the map, basically.
Right.
So, pretty cool. I don't think she'll see meta play, but, I mean, she's neat. Bringing Assassin, Soldier, Spy together is pretty good. Considering, I mean, we have Talon and other stuff, so...
At 50 points, the biggest thing that she's missing is leadership. She absolutely should have had leadership.
Yeah, that would have really helped.
And it makes no sense that, she's the one recruiting for the Thunderbolts.
So, 40 points...
She's only 40, but still 40 points is hefty. But I like what she has, but she's a lot for that.
Yeah. So next, I actually had to look to see exactly how to pronounce it. It's a little iffy, but from what I'm gathering it's pronounced. Where's it at? Dukeen, I believe is what it's pronounced as.
Yeah, it's Jack Dukeen.
Yeah, Jack Dukeen. I didn't want to try and pronounce it Jack Quincy, Yeah, Jack Dukeen. That's what it looks like. It looks like DeQuincy. But yeah, Jack Dukeen. He's got celebrity martial artist, no team ability, He's got one of the coolest traits I've ever seen. Is I'm buying that sword, Blades, Claws, Fangs. During forced construction, Jack the Queen may be assigned to sword equipment without paying its cost. Now, that's as far as I know, the only equipment that has been stated as being sword equipment is X of Swords. So this is not going to include the Necro Sword or anything like that, even though it
I was going to say,
has sword.
someone's going to try to pass off the Necro Sword as that.
Yeah, but unfortunately it's not, because if you look at the errata of the X of Swords, there was a whole entire debate about that, and they got errata to where they're all sword equipment. So that's cool that you can give him any sword for free.
I do hope that they keep
Then he has
making more equipment though that is labeled a sword, and he doesn't just like go out of the like playable. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even. It sucks too because he's gonna be pulp mainly. He would mainly be good in pulp, and you don't get objects in that. So like that's the one bad thing is because I just don't really see a lot of play for him in
we are getting that. What is it? The like I don't know if it's Excalibur or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that'll come out.
That
this
might.
weekend. It's supposed to be a construct though.
Oh, I thought maybe it would be a sword equipment. I don't know.
No, I thought the Excalibur was, and then there was a broadsword. Oh no, the broadsword is the construct. Yeah, so I think it is a construct. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
I was like, maybe it's a sword
a
equipment.
green construct. Yeah, so he's a 6'11", 18-1 with sidestep, precision strike, combat reflexes, and close combat expert. So he's technically a 12. He has blades, so you're always going to do that.
I mean, I like flurry.
I like seeing that. I really hate seeing people with blades and they have like a 3 or 4 damage because like, what's the point? Because you're really never going to really roll for blades, especially if you have 4 damage.
Yeah.
So I like to see it to where you want the character to roll blades because that's what the character is supposed to be using as a sword. So I like that his printed damage is not high.
But they
so
also
it makes you
give
want to
him
roll that.
close combat expert with 2 bolts, so you can still ping 2 people if you're adjacent. Also, so I think it's kind of neat. I don't know
with
if
the precision strike.
make a pulp team, but I kind of like him.
Yeah, celebrity martial artists. Martial artists, I think there's a lot of good stuff there. I wish he would have had that marksman. I know it's marksman's considered for bows and arrows, but even Lucky has marksman. So yeah.
Next is Haro. He has a special attack power. His whole dial. It is Staff of Amit, Blades, Claws, Fangs, and Pulse Wave. Steal energy, but with close and range attacks. He has Mastermind and Leadership. He's 50 points, and he does on his last click, which is click 5, have a stop click, which is when this click is first revealed. After resolutions, place Haro into a square within his range. Not with no move and attack. He's probably not great for 50 points, so he's pretty passable too.
I wish he was a little cheaper, just because. Like I like his stuff. Like he's leadership. You know, he's got mastermind. He's got 4 range, triple target, mind control. So that's something. But with no movement attack, it's tough.
He either needed to be 30 points or have sidestep and 40 or something like that. I don't know, but yeah.
Next is Layla El Fuli. So she is also 50 points. She starts with running shot, incap, willpower, and a special damage power. Her special damage is on clicks 1 and 2. It's perplex, outwit, and then she also has a stop click, which is stop super since it's on her last click, and you end with prob. She also has wild card. She interacts with a piece later in the set, so we'll talk about that when we get to it. But she's cool. I like her actually. But I don't. She'll probably just see play like in casual or sealed, but I doubt anywhere else.
Yeah, and then next we have Runa, who is from She-Hulk show. She's has Guardian Celebrity and Mystical. And then Shape Change. Once per turn, when Runa uses it, you may reroll a result. And then she has Catfishing, which is Perplex. And then once per turn, when an opposing character within range and line of fire uses a Perplex, the use of Perplex has no effect, and instead you modify Runa's defense +1 until your next turn. She's 6'11", 17-2 with Stealth, Precision Strike, Senses, and that Shape Change throughout her entire dial, except for her last click has 9 attack. I do like her. I wish that you didn't have to have line of fire. I mean, she only has 4 range. I think that would have made her a little bit more playable because all she is a don't hit piece. So she's really not bringing anything extra to your team besides that. And needing line of fire, I think, really hurts her, especially at 40 points.
Yeah, she's a little bit rough. She's got the double rollout, but that's it.
Yeah, that's all she has going for her. I know she has an 11 attack with 2 targets and 2 damage, but she has no movement attack. People are going to ignore her. But I like what they're going with.
She's fun for sealed, but yeah, that's probably the only time you're ever gonna see her. Next is Saracen. He is another Obama character, so he's got that trait, and then he is a 45-point piece with Steel Energy traded, and when Saracen heals after resolutions, remove an action token from him. He's a charge, 10 attack blades with willpower and prob, so same thing, probably maybe sealed, especially if you have like a Obama team, but other than that, I think there is an Obama theme pack, and I think I saw him played in that. So that's a pretty good trait, but other than that, you're probably not going to see him much.
Yeah. He just does, he's not a bad uncommon, but very basic.
It's nice to have the prob, but yeah, it's still 45 points.
Yeah. Next is Yelena. So she is either 65 or 25 points. For 65, it's a special speed power, a no attack power, and special defense and outwit for 4 clicks. And if she's 25, she's flurry, precision, the special defense, and shape change. Her special speed power is charge plasticity, and then her defense power, which she has her whole dial, is combat reflexes. Opposing characters can't target Yelena unless they're within 2 squares of her. Not bad, but I think she'll only see play in sealed. I kind of doubt she'll see play anywhere else. Maybe 25
I think
points.
what she does for 25 points, yeah, if you're doing a marksman team or an assassin team, I mean, there could be something there potentially. But yeah, that's no movement attack hurts. But the good thing is that you can make her 40 and give her a motorcycle. So, and she's not too bad because you're getting the charge flurry with a 10 attack and shape change. You can obviously bump up those attacks. So that's not too bad.
Because then you're also giving her super senses and charge?
Yeah.
At low? Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, so +2 speed, so she'll have a charge for 5 senses, combat reflexes.
Yeah, that makes her a lot more fun.
And flurry. Yeah.
That's right. Is it +2 speed on charge? I didn't realize it was +2.
I thought it was 1.
Yeah, it's +2 speed on charge and senses. It's 2. It's hypersonics 1 speed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, and next we have the uncommon tracksuit who only has Magia, which sucks because you're never really playing a Magia theme team, so he's going to only be coming in off the expendable goon trait, which is 1 through 3, you destroy a terrain marker within 4 squares of the last square he occupied, and 4 through 6, you just generate another expendable goon that on their 15-point starting line. He's fairly simple. He has stealth, exploit weakness, combat reflexes throughout his entire dial. At 50 points, he has 2 clicks of outwit, and then the last 3, including the 15-point line, is exploit. So he's a Quake exploit piece. So, I mean, he could be a really good coming in, especially because they're probably going to be close because they KO one of the goons. So I don't think he's too bad for a goon. I think what he brings is really good. I mean, you're talking exploit Quake is nothing to really sneeze at. So
yeah, you definitely bring one with you.
Yeah.
Next is Nikki Ramos. She's got the team player team ability. She's 25 points with 0 damage. She does have perplex though. She does have a trait, Jen Do Your Thing. When establishing theme teams, Nikki Ramos gains the keywords of a friendly character named She-Hulk or Jen Walters, and then a special attack power, Hold Dial, which is Incapacitate, and when she uses it, after resolutions, she may remove an action token from an adjacent friendly character. 25 points isn't terrible for the perplex, and I guess 11 attack, the incap that can remove a token is not terrible either. So maybe if there's a really good She-Hulk that sees play, she joins her at 25 points. She does have Mastermind also.
And she has a wild card, so she can copy something, so that's not terrible.
I could see her getting thrown on for 25. Probably not anything super competitive, but she's different.
Yeah. Pulp Avengers, I could see it just for that perplex.
Yeah.
And, team player, I think that, yeah.
All right, next is Wrecker. These guys not good in the series. So he's 50 points. He's just a charge. His special attack power, toughness, and exploit all the way through. He can also he has improved movement. It destroys blocking. He's got the Obama Stay trait. And then the attack power is Quake when he uses it and destroys any terrain markers. Give an action token to each opposing character that was adjacent to one of those markers. So, not bad. But the 50 points is kind of tough for this. Six charge, 11 attacks, okay. 18 defense is good. I mean, 3 damage isn't bad. So your quick exploit, which is good, but
I got to play
maybe
him in
Pulp.
sealed.
Yeah, I would think sealed. He's pretty good, and it may be Pulp, but that's all I got.
The thing is with his Quake too, he just uses it, and then you don't have to hit with it. It's just if he destroyed terrain markers, you give an action token to each opposing character that's adjacent to one of those markers. So we haven't gone over him yet, but I was actually able to pair him with the rare Kingpin, and so I took away willpower with people, and then I was just giving them extra tokens. So if they moved up on turn 1, I would give them a bunch of tokens on turn 2, and then they couldn't remove them with willpower. So it was kind of a cool combo, but because he doesn't have to hit, it really is that 3 charge that hurts.
That's the big deal. It's like, well, I'm going 1, 2, 3, and I can't go any further.
Next, Leapfrog. It's perfect because he's a no-roll piece. He has armor and celebrity. He's got a trait, Leap Climb, free. You choose a direct path and you roll a d6. You knock Leapfrog back along that path a number of squares equal to the result. And then he has he's a 8, 11, 18, 2, and then every other click he has a special attack power, which is poison, but deals damage even if moved or placed this turn. And when Leapfrog uses it after resolutions, deal him 1 damage. Now, I know a lot of people are going to look at that and be like, oh man, you're just getting off that click, you're dealing him 1 damage. But there are ways to give him reducers. In fact, there's a prime coming up that works perfect with him. So I think that there could be potential. I think because I mean, poison that does damage even after placed. It's nothing to sneeze at. I mean, I got top 4 using that as a strategy. So at states. So I think that there is something there. I don't think he's as good as the figures I used, but I do like him, especially with his empower. So he's bringing more to the table than just that poison. And yeah, it's really weird because I just noticed he has his second and fourth click have Earthbound neutralized.
Yep.
Which is disappointing. But yeah.
I
still think there could be something there.
I got to play him on that same.
But and the main problem too is that so the whole entire trick is to get him off that click 1. So you want to knock him back to deal that damage, but in order to have him stay on his poison click, you want to give him a reducer. So it's almost counterproductive to give him a reducer at that same point. So yeah, I like what he does, but I'm not sure if what he does is good enough to see a lot of play. I think he's 100% a fun piece and just a meme piece that you're going to play in a fun, casual pulp game.
Yeah, that's probably where he stays.
Yeah, and I like it. I think he's a perfect example of a budget version of your legacy Frogman. So, yeah, but I personally like him.
Yeah, he's fun. Next is Mr. Immortal. He was pretty funny in She-Hulk. They did a pretty good job with the dial. The first trait is when Mr. Immortal would be KO'd, except by this trait. Instead, roll a d6. 1, KO Mr. Immortal. 2 through 3, turn Mr. Immortal, click 1, and place him up to 4 squares away from his current square. An opponent scores 10 points. 4 through 6, turn Mr. Immortal to click 1 and place him up to 4 squares away from his current square, protected pulse wave. And then he's got another trait, which is just free, KO Mr. Immortal. He's got plasticity, which is a pretty good tie-up piece. It makes him a pretty good tie-up piece, and then he's got only a 16 defense with perplex, so 3 damage, and you're just basically resetting this guy a bunch of times. I was able to kind of farm points off of him pretty easy in the sealed game, so I don't think
saying that 2 and 3, like, oh man, if you roll that 4 times,
you're like, well,
that's
yeah, like 3 or 4 times, and then you KO him anyway eventually. So I mean, you can get points off him pretty decent. And of course, the 2 times that I had him get KO'd, he rolled a 1. So when I used on my team, he wasn't great either. But funny piece, they did a good job with his dial.
And there's a few figures in this set that actually benefit from when a friendly character is KO'd. So there are times I think that you want to take that free,
Oh yeah,
especially for a rare coming up.
yep, that's
I
actually
think
a
that,
good point.
and because I mean you're in KO. I mean, and yeah, you can give your opponent 10 points, but I mean you have a 50% chance that they're not going to get points, and you're going to benefit from it.
So wait though, is he actually KO'd? Because it does say free KO him, but then it says when he would be KO'd.
But
then
it's
you
only by
instead-
the it's only by that trait. So if you KO him and then you roll a 1, then he's dead.
Right, yeah. If you rolled
Oh
a
yeah, that's
one,
true. Yes, but that wouldn't trigger it, huh? Because it
Yeah.
says KO Mr. Mo. So yeah, that wouldn't trigger it, huh? Yeah, unless you rolled that one.
Yeah, so you could KO him and you roll a 2 through 3 and then you turn it back to click 1. The opponent gets 10 points or you roll a 4 through 6.
No, I was thinking there's a figure of Ronin coming up that would benefit from when friendly characters are KO'd. But yeah, I forgot that it's a would be KO'd.
Yeah.
So,
So you wouldn't actually KO.
instead, yeah, so you wouldn't actually be able to benefit from that.
Next is Hulk. He is 80 points. He has the Avengers Initiative TA. He's got a trait and a special attack power. He starts as a charge. The special attack power, which he has his whole dial, impervious and shape change. He has 0 range. His first trait is super strength. Characters within 3 squares can't use battle fury. That's interesting. And then his attack power is quake. When Hulk knocks back 1 or more characters, double the amount of knockback. That's also pretty cool. And then when Hulk is given a ranged terrain action, he has a minimum range value of 7. So then you can perplex him up, and he's suddenly a 10 for that ranged terrain.
And that's minimum. So he can throw those ginormous, ones that only have 4, and he can do 5 damage from 10 range away. Oh yeah, I think he's especially shutting down Battle Fury. I think that he could see play. I think for sure.
So I don't think that works though, because you would perplex up his range to a 3, and then it would check for minimums and maximums last, and then it would go to 7.
Oh yes, you can't really.
Oh yeah, it doesn't say he has. He doesn't replace it. Yeah, you're right. But still, 7 range is not bad at all.
Oh no, that's still good.
Yeah, I still like the 7. That's still hilarious though. Hold this all the way over there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's neat. I mean, I don't know.
I think he's worth TKing and just doing range action. Just throw him. I like that. Shutting down Battle Fury is extremely good, especially with Kong. Like that's the thing, is Kong gets rid of shape change because of his Battle Fury, so you're able to get your rollouts, which is not bad.
Yeah, that power's pretty powerful.
I know he's 80 points, but
the Carnage Surfers too, because that's one of the huge things that keeps them alive in the beginning.
Yeah. And he's bringing the Avengers Initiative, so you can get your team to ignore stealth if they have a wild card. Yeah, I actually like him for 80 points. I think that he's actually one of the better Hulks that we've had. Probably the best smart Hulk that I've seen.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Maybe ever, because we haven't really had too many good smart Hulks. So, and then next we have the rare Baby Groot. It's 40 points. He has 2 traits and a special speed power that's throughout his dial. He starts 7-10, 17-2 without wit, combat reflexes, and a special speed, which is sidestep, force blast. And force blast is free, but only to target a character that moved since your last turn. And then he has second part of that speed power is Baby Groot can knock back characters larger than himself, which is very important because he's tiny. First trait is opposing characters within 4 squares in line of fire can't use stealth. He has improved targeting hindering. And then he has a shifting focus where he can replace him with another character. He is actually one of the ones I think that you put on your sideline if you're playing Groot. Being able to shut down stealth, I think, is huge. And then being able to knock back figures. He's able to move figures like, realistically, it would Killmonger, or if you want someone away from Killmonger. And if they moved, he has the Force Blast is free. He also has Outwit. I know he only has a 10 attack, but what he brings to your team, shutting down stealth and Force Blast, which is going to be able to, replace your opponent's team to help you out. I actually really like him.
Does Force Blast have a minimum range of 4?
Yes.
I believe so. Yeah.
So yeah, that with the
Yes.
sidestep and being able to see through stealth,
Mhm.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, and then he doesn't just see through stealth; he shuts down stealth, which
Oh
is really
yeah,
good.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So like he can just outwit through stealth, but he doesn't really need to because as long as he's within 4 of someone, he's like, I see you.
Yep, and that means that your other friendly characters can go ahead and use it. The only problem is that, of course, is Ghost Rider. But that's the good thing about the Force Blast is free is that you can place them in positions to where there's certain characters that you can get them away from Ghost Rider because Ghost Rider can't be knocked back because he's a peanut base or pill base or whatever the hell the 1x2.
Extended.
Yeah, it's extended now. Yeah, that's what it is. Twinkie base. Yeah, I know they're trying to come up with a new name. I still like peanut base, but yeah.
That's neat. Next is
Iowa.
Iwua. Yeah. So he has a trait and a special damage power. He's the prime side of this baby Groot. He's 40 points. The trait is free. Choose an opposing character within 4 squares. Iwua can use the powers that character can use until your next turn. Replace that character's name with Iwua's name in the copy powers. So if you have the white powers, then he gets those too. And then the damage power is shape change. When Iwua uses it after resolution, you may place him up to 2 squares away from his current square. So he's a stealth, precision strike. Those two, he has his whole dial. He starts with no defense power, and then he has the damage power, his whole dial. And then the next 3 clicks on his defense, he has regen. So interesting, but he has cosmic energy too. I forgot about that. So I just don't know what to make of this guy. He just seems like he's very annoying, but I just don't really see him.
He's
I don't
probably
know.
not good, but I really like him. They gave
Yeah,
that same,
I like him too.
they gave that same
With him
thing-
being a prime, I don't think it would have been. Oh, go ahead, Ryan, because I think you and me are going to make the exact same point.
Well, they gave that same power to Venom Rogue, and then like within a week, I think they errated it because they thought it was, I'm guessing, too strong.
Yeah.
Where they didn't want her to copy special powers. So I think he's really cool.
Yeah.
I do want to try to play him. If you are playing him in some sort of competitive event, a lot of the characters do have really good powers. So it's just hard to plan on what you're going to use him for when you don't know what those powers are going to be. But just being able to do that, you don't need line of fire. It's just you just use all the powers that character can use until your next turn. So depending on what the people are playing, that's pretty cool. You can't
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I
it's,
wanted him to be able to choose any character. I think that would have been you'd be able to build around him, especially as a prime. I think that's not asking for too much from a prime.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Because what he does, like he has 2 range, so like he's not like a Venom Rogue, that's gonna steal a Sky Tyrant or something, and even if he stole like you know, those powers and all that stuff, he has 2 damage. I know he's precision strike, but like there's really nothing. But the interesting thing too, I guess, is why you don't want it to be friendly. Is it just says they can just use the powers that character can use, which includes equipment, powers granted by equipment. So I guess I can understand why they did that.
Oh yeah.
So when you do choose someone for opposing characters, remember if they have like the motorcycle, you're going to get that charge and super senses. You're not going to get the +2, but you're going to get that charge and super senses.
Right.
So
I think it's pretty cool. So I definitely want to try to play him just because he's a little bit different. But yeah, he's probably not going to make the cut, but I want to try.
Yeah, because he's a prime slot. Yeah, that's the
Next is the other Maya Lopez. So this one has free, choose a standard power an adjacent opposing character can use. Maya Lopez can use that power until you choose again. And then she's got a special speed power, hold dial, charge, sidestep, and stealth. And then a special damage power, her hold dial, which is close combat expert when Maya Lopez attacks 1 or more characters who can use blades. Or has the marksman keyword, modify her attack +1. She starts with an 11 quake and 18 combat reflexes. She's 60 points. She's got team player. So probably the same thing as the others. She's not going to make any pulp team, but in sealed, depending on what you pull, I could see you playing her. She's a 12 for 4 up close with stealth, charge, sidestep. That's not terrible.
No.
Yeah, the charge sidestep is not bad at all.
Yeah. Next is Red Dagger. So he's 50 points. He's got a trait, a special speed power, and a special attack power. The trait is stealth, lines of fire drawn to red dagger or adjacent friendly characters that cross the rim of elevated terrain are hindered. So that's interesting. And then his special speed power, which he only has on click 1, is sidestep. Red dagger can't be targeted by opposing characters unless they're adjacent to him. At the beginning of your turn, you may deal red dagger 1 unavoidable damage. And then his special attack power, which is on the rest of his clicks, which is 2 through 6, is Blaze Claws, Giant Reach 3. So that's kind of cool. You can potentially get him up next to people, or at least like in position within like his Giant Reach, and then you can just deal them the 1 unavoidable and then make attacks. So that's kind of neat. I don't see
What's
him.
interesting too is I think there could be some play, especially with how heavy Carnage Surfer is. Yeah, that first trait says lines of fire drawn to red dagger or adjacent friendly characters that cross the rim of elevated terrain are hindered. So they're going to be ignoring elevated most of the time. So if you're able to put them on the rim of elevated, surfers can't range attack you.
Yeah, as long as you got stealth, sure, yeah.
Yeah, they would still need stealth.
Yeah. Yeah, which that's, I mean, because he's going to have stealth. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of figures that have stealth. Because that's one thing that really hurts Surfer is that. So I could see people playing with that.
I think the biggest thing for him is that you have to take that 1 unavoidable at the beginning of your turn, so you can't sidestep and then change him to the other thing, and that just gives him leap climb. So that's
I wish it was just a free deal.
At the beginning of the turn, though, that's when you have porters that are able to fix that, especially if you're building them in competitive. You have them take that 1 avoidable and you just heal him above it. So
that's not terrible, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like him for 50 points.
He does some neat stuff,
especially in pulp. Yeah, for sure.
Dan, you get Donnie Blaze.
Next we have Donnie Blaze. Yeah, he just reminds me of Jim Carrey from what is that that magic movie? I forgot what it's called. But yeah, he's got a trait at the beginning of the game. He plays Steve Gray, Brain Rapist is his character's name, making fun of Chris Angel. Yeah, just at the beginning of the game, you generate a portal marker 5 squares away from any map edge, and at the beginning of your turn, you may generate a 008 demon on click 1 adjacent to the portal marker. If you do, you roll a d6. 1 through 3, the generated demon is friendly to an opponent's force and is not scored when KO'd. And 4, generate another demon on click 1 adjacent to the portal, and then remove the portal marker from the game. See, what's interesting is that going to be friendly to your opponent? No, it's not. It's only 1 through 3. Never mind. It's only 1 through 3 if it is. Okay. And then 5, 6 has no effect. So, I mean, you're at least getting a demon adjacent to the portal marker. So, yeah, that's not bad at all. I see 7, 10, 18, 2 with barrier, smoke cloud, and shape change. And he has a special speed power all the way through. Phasing teleport sidestep free, you place him or an adjacent friendly character up to 4 squares away from their current square. If you do, an opponent may then place that character up to 1 square away from their new current square. So he's 45 points. So he's like a poor man's Blackheart.
That extra like where they get to place him 1 square away kind of completely ruins a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see him making a team for 45 points.
I don't either now. Especially like the demons aren't scored. I mean, I understand that the demons are scored. That's what sucks. That 1 through 3, they're friendly to your opponent's force, but they're not scored. But if you roll that,
then you have to deal with
4, 5, or 6. They're friendly to your force, and they score them. So, yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense from the character from She-Hulk because he's just bad at what he does.
Oh yeah, I mean it's very funny. But it just hurts you too much. And the good thing that he does still has a drawback. So it just for 45 points, he's not doing anything else. What it costed Smoke Cloud.
I think that if they would have done the free placement, if you would have free placed him, if they didn't have the opponent may then place that character up to 1 square away, I think he would have been okay.
Yeah,
because he'd be an option to get a different option for a black card, especially saving 5 points.
Right. And
So
then
there's only 4 instead of from his range.
And then just not
Yeah.
generate the
But
demon
yeah.
because you don't have to.
Yeah. But I'd rather pay the extra 5 points for black card because he does what he does and is better.
Exactly. Dan, do you want Clint? Or do you want Moon Knight?
I would like Moon Knight, please.
All right. I will take Clint then. So he's got a trait which is Coin Trick, free, make a range attack using Incap. He's got on his first 3 clicks a special attack power, which is Precision Strike, and Clint Barton modifies attack and damage +1 when attacking 1 or more equipped characters. He's 75 points. He does see through characters with 6 range and 3 bolts. He's got range combat expert and ESD with an 18 defense. So he can kind of shut down some people with the free make a range attack using Incap, and the Precision Strike isn't terrible, but 75 points is a lot for a character, and I think he just kind of gets chewed through real quick with no second dial.
Yeah, he does. He does have Avengers TA or initiative, so you're seeing through characters and hindering. So besides elevated, you can shoot whoever he wants.
And he can ping 3 people with the Precision Strike. He's got a 12 attack, so and then if he can find the equipped character, then he's going up to 13
for 4,
yeah,
or 3. 4.
I pulled him in my sealed as well, and him and Prime Man Thing was just nasty because of that free end cap. Yeah, he's
okay.
Yeah, and sealed. Yeah, if you pull him in Man Thing, there's going to be a lot of teams that's going to be hard to beat. To be able to beat that because you're able to carry him with that KZ or whatever his name is, and then you can free end cap 3 people, and then that Prime Man Thing is able to place. And yeah, he's I think he's great in sealed.
If I see this piece, I'm going for him right away. It's just a 2-tap with 3 damage with no reducers. He's just dead.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, that's why you have to be aggressive. You have to take the initiative and be aggressive and throw. Yeah.
Gonna take Moon Knight, Dan.
All right. Yeah, next is Moon Knight. He is 200 points. He has Cosmic Energy and Mystics. He's got 2 traits, a special defense power and a special damage power. His first trait is free, heal Moon Knight 1 click. So that's always good, especially considering his special defense power is stop clicks. And then his second trait is free, choose an opposing character that damaged a friendly character since your last turn. Free, place Moon Knight such that he can make a close attack targeting the chosen character, then do so. So that's good. Mostly 2 attacks a turn is quite nice. And then his damage power is stop super senses. That's on click 4, click 8, and click 11. And then his damage power, which is on clicks 3, 5, 9, and 10, is Battle Fury Exploit. And he also has improved movement characters and improved targeting hindering, and he's a flyer. So I like him a lot, but he won't see play out of sealed or casual. Maybe pulp, but
I think that out of all the 200-point 3 stop click figures, I think he is the best. He counters the Chthon because he's able to heal that click because it's a free.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's tons of potential for him because now you're going to make him a 9, 13, 20 for 5. And you can go ahead and move up because you can just free heal in 1 click. And then you can give him one of the...
I would give him Khonshu, honestly. Stealth prob just to make sure that he's safe while he's moving up. But I don't know. He's a lot of points for that. So
he is for sure. But that's what I'm saying though, is that because now, but at 200 points now he's a 9, 13, 20 for 5 with Khonshu. That's
better.
Yeah, but most people are attacking with like a 14 attack most of the time, from what I've been experiencing. So
yeah,
just play with Jennifer.
It's rather hard.
Play him with Jennifer.
Yeah, there you go.
I can see someone try to do a tent pole team with him, and I think it'd be more successful than we have seen from the other 200-point figures.
Don't get me wrong, I love this piece, but I'm not quite sold on that.
And that's what sucks, that when people look at him and say that's casual, like that's where like it's that gray area goes, that there's certain figures that aren't good enough for competitive, but way too powerful for casual, and that's this figure. This figure you play in casual and just completely wreck everyone.
I think
it sucks. That
if you play him without Khonshu and Chthon, I think it's fine. If that's 200 points of your build,
I guess, yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
when you go all
yeah.
out and you stack him with all this other stuff for free,
Yeah.
that's where he gets a little bit ridiculous for casual.
Yeah.
I do like these 200-point characters that they're doing a really good job with, so I definitely hope they keep making them.
Yeah, I do like them too. Next, we have Vincent D'Onofrio, Kingpin.
I actually pulled
Traded
him.
willpower, opposing.
I pulled him twice. I
He,
actually like him.
I, I do like that because I like this trait where it says opposing characters within 4 squares can't use willpower. Like that's huge.
Right.
Especially with characters like Colony and stuff like that. And then Invincible and Mastermind protected outwit, but only from characters of a lower point value. I really like that. I really do. And then he has a special attack power on his first 4 clicks. He has that Invincible Mastermind on his first 3 clicks, which is only a starting 90-point line. And then he has charge, super strength throughout 612. Starting out at 90, and he's a 6'11", 17-3 at 50. Leadership and Outwit's going to be the special power, and then he ends on 3 clicks of Battle Fury. I really do like him. Even at 50 points, I like him with the Invincible and the Mastermind and Protected Outwit at 50 points. Because the majority of figures are going to have Outwit are going to be, most of the time, they're going to be support pieces. Because there's not a lot of main attackers that have Outwit. There is a few, but I do like that.
Shutting
Yeah,
down
he's not too
willpower
bad
is
at all.
really big, and then he has it himself. So
It's huge, yeah.
next is the Prime Kingpin. So this guy is really cool, and I definitely want
This
to start building with
is
this guy. Yeah, this guy's very good. So his first trait is Tracksuit Mafia. Friendly standard characters of 30 points or less can use toughness and modify attack and damage +1. He's got a special speed power, which is there are no lines in this business. Stealth, and then he's got power. Choose up to 2 friendly standard characters of 30 points or less within 6 squares. Move those characters up to 2 squares each. Then they may each make an attack. So that right there is pretty crazy good. One thing that one of our sealeds, Harris pulled 2 of those Moon Knights, the 005s. So it made them a 11 for 4 that they could then make the free, then make their own, and then that would trigger the 1 penetrating each. So at 25 points, that's a pretty good option for that power too. But there's a ton of really good stuff that goes with him. Mephisto. He also has the Mastermind and Toughness on his special defense power, and then Kingpin's other powers have Protected Outwit, and his damage power is Leadership Outwit. He has all those special powers, his whole dial. He has 55 points, but I think that special speed power is just super powerful.
Yeah, I like how it says his other powers have Protected Outwit. I know a lot of people don't like that, but the fact is that you have to waste an Outwit on that before you can even outwit the other powers.
Yeah,
so I like that.
Yeah, the speed power is still pretty important, so you would probably choose that if you could. So,
and to be honest, there wasn't a lot of teams that I saw, at least from my experience in Florida, that had like 3 outwits. Like the most they had was 2 tops, and that was iffy at best most of the time.
Yeah, it's getting harder to get.
Because a lot of figures have Protected Outwit anyway. Yeah, so but yeah, no, it's and you put him in silver. I mean, that's when things get really dumb. Especially the super rare Flash from Wonder Woman 80 is now 13 for 4. Yeah, he's just.
Yeah, I think you totally play him unthemed, and there's just a ton of crazy good stuff in silver.
It's yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you play him with. Buy a bunch of the Legacy Daredevils and just play him with Daredevils.
Right,
you know?
Yeah.
That's at 10 points, yeah, why not?
So next we have the 038 She-Hulk. So she has a trait and a special damage power. She has 60 points, and she is 6 clicks long. She starts with Sidestep, Super Strength, Invincible, and her damage power that she has her whole dial. The trait is the Obamastay Therapy Session. This is... it's the same as the Obamastay trait. It's just a different name. And then, her damage power is Outwit once per turn. When an opposing character within 4 squares is given a free action, She-Hulk may immediately roll a d6. 3 through 6, that action resolves with no effect. That's pretty funny given how many free actions people are taking nowadays. So, don't know if I'd pay 60 points for that, but It's interesting. She also has the Avengers Initiative TA, by the way. So she's interesting for 60 points. But like I said, I don't know out of maybe I could see maybe Pulp, or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
obviously
That's
Sealed, but I don't see her anywhere else.
Pulp, especially because it just says within 4 squares is given a free action. So there's a lot of drop off teams like with that are going to be dropping off free pogs and stuff like that.
It is
And
once per turn though.
it is once per turn, but you get to choose
Yeah.
when to do it. So which is nice. So if someone tries to outwit you, or that's I think that's really good. And then next we have Madison with 2 ends. And she has trait shape change, and once per game when Madison would take damage, you may instead place her adjacent to a friendly character with a mystical keyword. If you do, turn Madison to click 3, and if that character is named Wong, you may turn her to click 1 instead. She's 20 points with a special speed power, willpower, and a special damage throughout. Same stats, it's 4, 9, 17, 2. But her speed is 2 ins, 1 Y, but it's not where you think. At the beginning of your turn, you roll a d6. 1, an opponent places Madison up to 1 square away from her current square. And then 2 through 6, you move her up to 2 squares, which is come important with her damage power, which is perplex. And when she may use it a second time each turn if she's adjacent to a friendly character with the mystical keyword. So you get potential 2 perplexes a turn for 20 points, which is not bad at all. And you have to double tap them unless she's the last figure on your force. I really like her. I think she sees competitive play at the highest level in Mystical because of her point value in those two perplexes.
Oh, for sure. Out of
Oh,
this
definitely.
CUR, and not including primes, I think she's the most competitive
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah.
Next is Ronan. He has sidestep traded, and when a friendly character is KO'd until your end of your next turn, Ronan can use charge and flurry. And then a special attack power is Whole Dial, which is Blades, Claws, Fangs, Steel Energy. And once per turn, when Ronan KOs a character, after resolutions, he may move up to 2 squares and make a close attack. And then he does have a stop click on his last click, which is only a 15 defense. And then it's free. Replace Ronan with a character named Clint Barton or Hawkeye of equal or less points than Ronan on their last non-KO click. If you do, heal that character 2 clicks. On top, he is a sidestep with stealth, and then a 12 attack, 19 defense with combat reflexes. He definitely did some work in our sealed games, and I know I've heard other people say that he did the same too. So at 55 points, I could definitely see him on a Pulp Assassin team. So I think he's actually pretty good. 55 points is pretty reasonable. He does also have 4 range, 2 bolts, and ignores characters for movement. So he's got a ton of potential damage.
I mean, the hilarious thing is you could just generate a Pog, have the Pog go die, and then he's now has charge and flurry. So
Right. And then if he KOs anybody, he
Or
can make
like-
another attack. So that's not bad
Yeah.
at all, especially in Pulp.
Mhm.
I think that there's tons of potential even in modern with Assassin.
He's got stealth.
And there's
combat
some decent
reflexes.
Hawkeyes coming. That's what's extremely good. He's 21 up close. A 12 attack is nothing to sneeze at either.
Right.
And he moves through characters, so he's going wherever he needs to go to hit whatever.
Yeah, you can't lock
Yeah.
him down.
Yeah, and a stop click. I mean, that's even if you don't replace him, even though there's a lot of good Clint Bartons or Hawkeyes. You don't even have to do that.
Yeah. Next we have Lucky, so he has a trait. Actually, sorry, 2 traits and a special defense power. He's 20 points, 3 clicks long. He's got 0 range. He also has the marksman keyword, so all these marksmen can gain the trick arrows for free. Not that you're equipping him with a trick arrow, but you can. He has plasticity, the special defense power, and enhancement. His Whole Dial. The trait is so at the beginning of the game, generate a pizza object. When a friendly character would use the trick arrow equipment before revealing the card, you may roll a d6, 4 through 6, shuffle a friendly used trick arrow card into that character's unused trick arrow cards, and set them face down. And then his second trait is opposing characters within 4 squares can't use shape change. So another character that can get rid of shape change, which is good. And then his defense power is Super Senses Mastermind. So I would say he might see play for 20 points.
For enhancement and shutting down shape change,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let alone the trick arrow.
Especially the trick arrow. Adding an extra trick arrow is really good.
Yeah, I could see him with martial artist for sure.
Animal too. I guess if Animal doesn't really have a lot of ranged attackers at the moment, so maybe not Animal. And then next we have Jack Russell,
This guy's a mess.
detective. He's just he has a pointless pointless trait that's support perplex, support as free, but only to choose characters with the monster keyword. And he has special defense power stop that he doesn't have, which is interesting. I don't know what click it's on. And then he alternates between perplex and support. He's gonna need an entire so much of errata.
I mean, I love his trait. If his dial actually was something else, then I'd be like, this is awesome.
Yeah, I don't, because he has traded support and perplex, and then he alternates between perplex and support on his dial. He has a stop click that doesn't exist. But yeah, I don't. He's an unplayable figure. I don't think there's a single way to errata him because the dial always works, which means that he no longer has a stop click. But yeah, it just sucks that now we have a Jack Russell that does not turn into Werewolf by Night. But what I'm thinking this is going to happen is that when he would be KO'd,
he just isn't KO'd the first time, I'm guessing.
Yep. That's exactly what it's going to be.
That'd be cool, but they'll have to fix
you change that to a trait. Oh yeah, I'm totally fine with that because that's going to make him playable-ish. Even though it's weird to have double perplex and double support, but yeah,
this might be the biggest
making a trait
I've seen ever in CLIX.
It's bad. This is bad. Yeah, there's just it's bad until this is errated properly to be a trait. Useless figure. I guess he can be fun, but there's tons of potential there just by looking at the dial. But yeah, he's just too much of a mess to even.
I want one just because I like the Werewolf by Night stuff, but I was like, I saw this and I'm like, what happened here?
Yeah, hopefully they fix him a little bit.
Yeah, because I think if they just give that trait to where he's replaced when he would be KO'd, I think that's fine.
All right, who you want to take the last one? Verusa.
I can. So Verusa, Mystics TA 30 points, also has the target trait, which I really like. Has another trait, which is when a friendly character KOs an opposing character with the target token, heal that friendly character 2 clicks. In this game, they have Mystics. If the KO'd character had the monster keyword, score 15 victory points. So, pretty good. So you're gaining the 25 victory points on top of the 15, so you're getting 40 extra points for KOing a monster.
Right.
And then, so she has a special attack, or sorry, she has a special damage power. So she's a stealth, precision strike, mastermind, and then special damage power for 4 clicks. And then her damage power is opposing characters within 3 squares can't use mastermind, shape change, or stealth. So that's pretty cool. I actually like her quite a bit.
30 points, shutting down those 3 powers.
Yeah, 30 points is fair.
Huge. Yeah.
And the target. So I'm a little bummed about it being assassins still. I thought this one, just given like what she was for the show, it might have like stretched to just her keywords, but it's fine. I guess.
But the cool thing is that you don't need to be an assassin to get the extra 15 points. So that's
exactly. So I thought that was pretty cool. The healing thing is nice. So I like her. I will probably play her. I don't know about meta play, but she's pretty good.
Assassin's fun, and it just keeps getting better. So
yeah.
All right, well, that is going to wrap up the common, uncommon, and rares. We'll be back pretty quickly with the super rares, hopefully later this week with super rares, chases, and all that. So thanks for joining us for our first episode.
And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for ya!
Click it.